Hello and welcome to TellerTactGaming, and we will be playing EU4. More precisely, EU4 version 1.30 Austria update and Emperor DLC, which came out the 9th this month, so it's 3 days ago. It took me way longer to decide which nation to play. So yeah, that's why. But before we start, like and subscribe, click the bell icon to get notified. Have something you want to say? Leave a comment. Follow me on Twitter to get new series notification. Pledge on Patreon to support me directly, and need quick access to the playlist? All the corresponding links can be found in the video description. So with that out of the way, let's go into here and see. I did a lot of thinking, like, about which nation I wanted to play. I had a few restrictions. I wanted it to be in Europe because it's Europe, and more precisely Germany/France region, which has been reworked, and a bit of Italy as well. So it's HRE plus France, basically. And then a lot of Catholic nations in general has been changed. So even the Crusader states like Cyprus, the Knights, and so on. And the religion, the Catholic religion, has been reworked with the cardinals. The papal system is reworked. So there's a lot of changes to Europe and core Central Europe. And I did a lot of pondering, like which nation to pick, and I decided on Burgundy. Mostly because we have a lot of options, and it's a nation which has received a lot of attention and changes. And so yeah, I picked Burgundy, and we are going to go with a twist of colonizing. Because colonization has also received a few minor tweaks as well. So let's jump right in. I'm going to keep it normal mode. There's no achievements I want, so, and I do believe I will I might do the whole thing with the generals like I did in Muscovy, that if it's below a certain amount of pips I can cheat myself one. Because yeah, you'll see why I feel like that's even more important now. When we come to the estates. So, any day now. Here we go. We are in. Now, Burgundy starts as this nation, like, I don't know what to call it. Like, it's like pressed in between France and HRE, and a lot of provinces that Burgundy has is actually part of the HRE, but Burgundy owns the provinces. Now, not only does Burgundy own down here, it's up here, and Wallonia, Picardy, and Western Eastern Burgundy. But Burgundy also starts the game with like a personal union over Flanders, Brabant, and Holland. And we want to try to get the Burgundian inheritance to fire, but not before we actually integrate Nevers, because Nevers will become a vassal of France if we don't integrate Nevers. So yeah, we have a few things here that I want to try to accomplish. One is become part of the HRE, so that if we look here, can do the crown of Lothair to create Lotharingia, and also have a much easier time expanding in the empire, because yeah, I will also pick up an alliance with Austria immediately, and one day to get the Pope. We can't get excommunicated. France, you won't get any. England, for some reason, always have me as a rival. I'm not sure why. Let's see, no, not Castile. Let's pick Denmark. Let's pick France. And then sure, Castile, whatever. This is the first time I see France not setting me as a rival, which is interesting. Now, I do have 3 mods running. Nothing that changes the UI, like the graphical stuff, whereas things look different from vanilla. It's actually all vanilla looking. However, all of the sizes of all the windows has been with the bigger UI and bigger production UI, they have been resized, because if you want to actually see stuff, you probably want to have those 2 at least. And then I have better fog of war mod to make the fog of war not so extreme. But that's it in terms of mods. And considering how like quick they got updated, I'm sort of impressed. Especially when considering the UI. Because yeah, there's a lot of UI changes. Estates is different. You don't put out burgers and so on per province. They are basically percentage, and then you have your own like crown land, and you have to have 30% crown land control, otherwise you start getting a lot of bad stuff. So if you don't have enough crown land, you get national tax modifier, you get maximum absolutism lowered, and this is a really bad one, liberty desire from subjects development. So if a nation is just way too powerful when it comes to development, like Nevers here, from 27 development plus 8.4. Now that is increased slightly because of the crown land modifier, because we don't have enough crown land. Yeah, so let's see what we can do to, like, I can do Sea's Land, but it's just barely over. So I think what I do is pick the one which has no. Let's do that. That, since this now went up to 30, we have no effect. We don't have that anymore. And yeah, as you can see, from 27 development, instead of 8, it's 6.7. The problem with the Sea's Land is you only get 5% and all estates lose 20 loyalty. And loyalty is a lot harder to get now than it was before. For some bizarre reason, instead of like going towards trending towards 50%, it's now something like, yeah, it seems like the base is 30 and 30 is just the absolute minimum you need to not get a penalty to stuff. So yeah, they haven't. I'm not sure if I'm going to say destroyed and nerfed them into the ground. It's just not as easy to handle the estates now. And you can only do summon the diet and like take crown land, like take land from the estates. Like what is it? Once every 5 years. So yeah, and once you do the diet, you can only pick one. And yeah, depending on what you do, you might actually yeah, you might actually want to pick one over the other, but so let's see if we can do this. I'm not sure I like that change, to be honest. It's like, I would probably say that the base should have been 40 instead of 30. But yeah, and there's another reason why, as I said before, why I think the whole cheating the generals is going to be something I feel can be even more justified than before, is because we can't get a general from the estates. We might be able to by summoning diet, but we can only do it once every 5 years. And there's no guarantee that one of the options will give us a general or an admiral. Like, there's no guarantee. So we don't know. But let's see if we can maybe do this. Now, what I am going to do is actually cheat myself some money Oops. What? Me doing it wrong. It's just to consolidate, because I don't want these two here. They are not really that useful, so I'm... And that gives me actually less army tradition gain, so I feel that I can justify that. And since I don't actually get the money and I get one less fort, it's fine. But I think what we need to do is try to build up, and I will try to keep Philip III alive for as long as possible. Mostly because if we don't try to keep him alive, we will get a 204, which will cripple... It will cripple our tech advancing. Let's see if we can get this going. Now, A3 is very different in how it works. Especially all the imperial authority, like diets. All the imperial diets are different, and so on, and all the incidents works differently, and the Burgundian inheritance is actually one of those so-called incidents. Now we need to build up and prepare for war against France and war against a strong France. So I think what I'm going to do is buy a general. I have one, just so I can do some drilling and go. As long as I keep allied to Austria and the Papal State, I should be fine, and I will try to attack Provence to get Metz and like Lorraine, so I can get all of the Lorraine area, so I can go through that way. One way or another. I'm not sure exactly how. There is a big problem with Lorraine, the nation Lorraine, because for some reason they have a lot of like they are a lot of aggressive expansion. So let's see how we do this. We have a bit of extra increase in splendor. We should try to, once 1450 comes around, we should try to bring the capital up to 30 development. But before that, I think we should hoard as many things as possible, and hopefully, I'm not sure, but I hope that France... I hope this is actually one of the times that France loses so badly or go in debt, so I can attack Provence. I need to bring all the liberty desire of my subjects down to below 1, which basically means get it to 0. I can build some more troops. There we go. What I need to do as well is make these 3, set them to English Canal, and one thing to note when it comes to trade with Burgundy is that you are collecting trade in the English channel, despite your home node be like your home trade node being Champagne, and then you steer from Bordeaux to your home trade node. But most of the money you well, you collect a bit of extra money from the English channel. It's not a lot, it's just slightly more. The reason for this is that you actually have a very bad amount of trade power in your home node, so you don't actually earn that much money. Yes, let's do that. How is this looking? And here's something that Aragon, for some reason, the AI Aragon always do this. They get an event that they can choose to release Naples or keep them. And for some reason, the AI Aragon always releases Naples. Always. Now, that's good for me as a player if I'm not playing as Aragon or something. Now, if I'm playing as Castile, that's actually bad, because that means I don't get Naples in a personal union when I get Aragon. So, yeah, there's a bit of that kind of stuff. I'm going to take the stability because the stability is just way better. We also need 1 stability to gain prosperity. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I don't want you to gain 5%. That's just way too much. But that meant that they went below 30%, which means they are this loyal, which means that we have a few bad modifiers. Okay. Now, they have changed the whole thing with states as well. You don't have a state limit. However, you have a governing capacity limit. And as a base, it's actually quite small. It's 200. And we have over half already filled out. Now, the thing is with the estates is that you can actually take the clergy land rights and so on for all 3 of them. They have the same one. And you get plus 100 governing capacity. Now, if you have access to a 4th, you actually can get more. So something like the Ottomans, which has the Dhimmi as well, is actually better than when it comes to governing capacity. Now, governing capacity gets used up fairly quickly, so you'd be surprised how quick 500 will be used up, and how little land we're actually talking about. I did a few play tests. I can't speak. Mostly to test out the most interesting nations, and then I wanted to, when I decided for Burgundy, I wanted to test the whole, how does the Burgundian inheritance work, so I don't have to restart it all, because that would be unfortunate. Now, how is the... Okay, Holland. Holland is the only one left now that I need to bring below 1. And we are going to improve relations. And there he died. Yep, he died. And I didn't even try to kill him this time. That's too bad. Yeah. Thankfully, I had 2 stability. But yeah, we don't really have see your... I'm going to have to see. Yeah, but France is still helping. That's the one thing I really hate with Provence, is that they start an alliance with France when... Yeah, I don't know. They shouldn't want to be, especially not for long. I just want the prestige. I don't want anything else. And let's do that one. We now have permanent claims on Lorraine area, which is what we want. Let's go back and improve relations with Nevers so that we can integrate them as soon as possible. And we don't have that much left of this episode at the moment, so what I'm going to do is do this one. Now, what this does is actually, it gives them influence. It gives them loyal equilibrium, which means that the upper limit of their loyalty is going to be higher. It's going to lower our possibly max absolutism by 5. So it's going to be, if we could have 100, with this enabled, we will have 95 as a max. But we are going to get governing capacity plus 100. Now, I have no idea what happens once the age of absolutism comes around, because I haven't played that far. So I have no idea how that's going to work. And so if we take a look, equilibrium is currently 39%. So the burghers, or as they are called, basically the same, but in more French, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Yeah, so instead of 30, with that extra, we now have a plus increase. So and it's going to go up to 39%. Now, at 39%, that doesn't get us much. We can't do the take back land from them, so we are going to need to do like diets to increase their loyalty and do events that happen randomly, so we don't get rebels. Now, it seems like they have actually dialed down the like smallest stack possible, so you can actually get a stack that is 2 or 3 instead of like how it was before, where you could like the smallest one you can get was like 6,000, 8,000, something like that. But yeah, we now have a governing capacity of 300, and with that, I think we are going to call this first episode here. So yeah, that is Burgundy, and we, as I said, we are going to go the whole exploration ideas and then expansion ideas, and then we'll see what we get in terms of ideas. And then we are going to join the HRE, become Lotharingia, and then I think by extension try to like reconquer and become the Frankish Empire. Now, we can't tag change, we can't become the tag Frankish Empire, but we can at least conquer the land, so yeah. But we are going to have to call this one here, so thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.